right. Well, looky. I think we're live. You're smiling. I think this is your first Facebook Live ever, right?
Yes, this is my first Facebook Live with my one and only.
Ah, okay, Ka.
Okay, Ka.
All right, y'all. What's up? It's your boy Fred and Fred's wife. No, she has her own rep. It's Regina, and just wanted to say welcome to the Signal Clarity Facebook group. We're going to go in a little bit why we established this group and what's actually changed since you really saw us back in 2019. A lot's happened. I definitely want her to introduce herself properly because at the end of the day, I'm not a guru. I'm just here to literally help you out with what you've got going on, what's currently not working, and she's actually a major part of the secret to my success because you do need to have somebody else in your life. So if you're just trying to do this game of life by yourself, it's practically impossible, especially if you really want to run a highly successful business. Not only have we been able to run highly successful businesses out of the home for what, how many years?
So many years that I've lost count.
Yeah, we've been doing it forever, but now it's time to really share. But we also want to go through the good, the bad, and the ugly about what's happened. So if you can share a little bit about yourself and what you really bring to the table and how important what you do, that would be seriously greatly appreciated.
Well, for me, I'm originally from Thailand. I'm half Laotian, so I'm a little bit of a mix. Coming from, a very beautiful country, both ends of the world, right? And then growing up in the U.S. Gives me a little bit of a different perspective than just from the U.S. I think a little bit differently as an immigrant. Um, so that's also what helps as far as the communication between myself and Fred.
Yep. And if you see all of this, it's in real time. We're over here just outside the hotel before we leave out, but she just said, "Oh, this is beautiful." I'm like, "Well, welcome to the wild, wild, I guess the east now, far
Yeah.
east since we're out here." But this is usually what happens during live, so just really want you to understand the power of this content, though. So tell us a little bit more about your experience actually going back to your hometown, because that's what really inspired us to start Signal Clarity as far as the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I don't think a lot of people know your story, and it's really important for them to understand how that translates into really survival, not just in your personal life, but also in your professional life.
Am I speaking about how I've actually crossed the river?
You can if you want. It's your call.
Okay. Um, well, originally, um, my mom is actually Thai. My dad is Laotian. He was a pretty high rank French military Laotian before the communists took over. Dad had a pretty good insight of what's happening and what's going to happen. So with that, when the communists were starting to come in to Laos, Dad was just like, we got to go. Mom was already in Thailand, so in the middle of the night, at the age of 2, we were in a raft, fighting for our lives to cross the river into Thailand. I was that crying baby, with my sister holding me, and I was crying. So everybody's like, throw her off the boat, throw her off the raft. We don't need to get caught. Sacrificing one life will save the rest of us. Fortunately, I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional.
It's okay, baby. I love you.
Fortunately, with my sister, she was actually able to pretty much cover my mouth and get us across. And by doing that, when we did finally cross, my story is kind of long, but we were refugees from Laos. Even though my mom is Thai, the only way that Dad saw a future for us, in the land of free, in the land of opportunity, we became refugees. And because of who we are and how we are, nobody wanted to sponsor us.
Yeah.
So Dad actually dirtied us up, got us into the U.S., and even then we became a slave.
Yeah, that's a whole different
Yeah.
story for a whole
Very
different
crazy.
time. Yeah, very crazy times. But that was one of the aha moments for me, because if you would have told me that I would have been going to Laos in my lifetime, that was not on my bingo card. so,
Yeah, I
so
mean, for me, it was first time back since that moment of crossing
yeah,
the river.
yeah,
And
and
I crossed back with my husband.
yeah, and it was a truly a magical experience for me, because it was at that moment when I realized that her dad actually understood signals. Like, he knew instinctively and intuitively that he had to make moves. And I think that's the problem. And I really thank you for sharing that story, and I honor you for sharing that story, because I was a part of it. And it was actually pretty amazing to really even see a video later on. And we can share that, but probably not in this group, will probably be in the new room. But, had a chance to really understand the magnitude of the power of one person being able to see a signal, and then it's actually saving other people's lives. And that's really how I've always looked at business as well. For a lot of you who don't know me, I'm a combat vet, so I've also had the experience of being left out in the desert and actually picking up on signals that was literally life or death for me, for a lot of, like, so it's there's a high correlation between me and my wife, and that's one of the reasons why she's also been the secret to my success all of these years as well, because she speaks 3 languages. So if I'm able to write in a way where she can understand it through all 3 filters, then I know for a fact it works. So it was at that moment when we were crossing back over the river where I was like, hey, I think we've really got something here that's really different and unique, because we're not marketing gurus per se. I work with a lot of marketing gurus. She's actually helped me start some offers starting at like $20,000 and up online. And this is all vetted and validated. A few of our clients are actually going viral online in real time as we speak. So it's one of those things where I'm super thankful for the opportunities, but I'm also super thankful that, me and my wife are together actually helping out this community, because what we want you to understand is that you can't take this journey alone. No matter how hard you try, you've got to be able to really step up and not only do it for yourself and become a different person, but you also have to understand what your signal is and be clear enough and conspicuous enough to where people can clearly understand what you're for, what you're against, why you're in front of them, even if you're running an ad, even if you're going like organic marketing. She's watched me do it all. She's participated in a lot of the startups online, as well as multiple 6-figure businesses. So she's been my rock behind the scenes and my foundation, because if it doesn't pass her filters, I never rolled it. So here's my secret weapon right here,
Here I am.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that we also had some life-changing incidents as well. For a lot of you who follow my path online, I've been online forever. First started in the Marine Corps back in 1996 doing this stuff professionally at a military level, but it wasn't until she got sick, and again, it was a life or death thing, where if I didn't see those signals, she would not be here right now. So now that she's all cleaned up and we've been able to really come back to Thailand, because we wanted to do this trip back in 2019, now we're in a different unit of time, and now we can actually focus and really help out the people who really want help, and that's what this group is all about. So is there anything you want to add to this as well?
No, definitely. That's who and what we're really all about. We're about helping the community, and if you're here, then there's a reason why you're here.
Yeah, 100%. And please, that's what this whole group is about. We're not trying to be the gurus. Here's what we want and here's what we don't want. What we do want is people really engaging in the content itself. We get a lot of busy professionals, right? Even here right now, we have multiple 8-figure business owners. So I know some of you guys personally. We'll talk, we'll get on calls, we'll have fun with this. The whole goal of this, though, is to cut through all of the noise, not just in your mind, but also what's going on out here in the world. Every single mechanism, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a blog, whether it's pay-per-click, whether it's advertising through Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever you're putting your message, starts with clarity. And if you're not crystal clear, and this is the problem when I was coaching up a lot of the agencies online as well, if you aren't crystal clear in your messaging, how are you able to duplicate it with your clients? And that's the problem. Like, you really got to go deep in this kind of stuff. And gone are the days of people just taking money and running. Now, if you haven't heard of it, now you have LLMs out there, large language models, i.e. ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini. And that's what I've been able to specialize in for almost 3 years now. It's just now becoming more public, but I was one of the guys back in the day, and I still have the software that we're going to roll out in our group, as far as just really taking you to the next level, because the guru days are officially dead. Now, what Google and a lot of these other platforms are looking for are real vetted experts, but you have to know how to move through this new game. A lot has changed. SEO is not dead. It has a little brother. It's called answer engine optimization. And you want to add to that?
Um,
You don't have to. Looks like you had a thought. Well, actually, tell them about your AI, and because you do have a high level experience with that as well.
well, with AI, the biggest thing is, your how you word anything, how you ask your question, your the engine optimization, as far as that goes. So it's really, for me, it's a big deal because I'm that person that didn't know how to use a computer or turn it on, but now I love AI, and I use AI for everything, as far as even us being here,
Yeah.
to get from point A to point B to things that I want to do, to down to losing weight. It's crazy and amazing.
Yeah, and it also helped us get to the United Nations this year as well, because this time last year I was helping start up some well-established brands that had been inactive due to the pandemic. So we thoroughly understand that AI is just like water. It's touching everything in life right now. You can either get right or get left. It's one of
Yep.
those things where it's not going away. It's getting to the point now where it's actually causing larger problems at scale that I talked about at the United Nations. But the reality of it is, though, if you have to do anything, my highest and best recommendation would be to learn how to ask the best questions, get your signal clear enough so that no matter what mechanism you're using out there, you'll be able to crush. You'll know exactly why things are working, why things aren't working, and that's exactly what we're going to cover in this group. This is a very engaging group, and I want us to clearly understand that we are connected here, and the whole goal is for us to build a real vetted community of genuine experts who can be found and discovered and mentioned in their own respective industries. So is there anything else that you want to say or add before we end it?
Yeah, just don't get left behind.
Yeah, straight up. So much love, guys. We'll be here for a little bit longer, but I wanted to say thank you so much for your trust. Please drop some comments if you have anything in particular that you want to know about. Just also mention them in the comments. Hit us up. We're here to help, completely here to serve. Thank you so much for your trust, and we look forward to really expanding the group with other like-minded people. So if you don't have a partner in this group, my highest and best recommendation is to get a partner. And you see my partner now. So that way you can really have fun, and because you should be building a business that you have fun with. It's serving you. Thank you to all the current clients and friends and partners that we have. We could not do this without you at all. Straight up, you know who you are. Much love, and it's bigger things to come for everybody involved. So we are only as strong as our weakest link, and we always want to rise together in those rising seas. So let's go.